What's going on, guys? We got the Farmall Super C back in the shop. We're going to be doing a handful of things to it today. We got some new parts in just the other day. Got a new valve cover gasket. So while we're in there, we're going to be resetting the valve lash and checking all that stuff. Make sure it's within spec. New oil filter. And then we got new plug wires. If you see other stuff, we'll fix it while we're in there. But those are the main issues we're going to be doing today. We'll do a nice oil change and get all the new fluids in there. I did already drain the hydraulic fluid and I cleaned the filter, which is right in here. I'll get you guys on. I actually just got a GoPro yesterday, which is filming right now. So I got all the accessories, the chest mount and the head mount and all that good stuff. So I'll get you guys in here after that and show kind of a first person view and see how you guys like that. I'd like to clean the gas tank. It's just kind of been sloshing around a little bit that we did drive it to get it on the trailer and off the trailer and in the shop. It sloshed around and got some gunk stirred up a little bit and then into the sediment bowl, and it just keeps running like hell. Every time we flush it out, it's good for a little bit and then it purrs like a kitten and then it gets clogged up and it's starving for fuel and it'll only run on choke. So we'll get that solved and all easy stuff. It'll be a fun Sunday project. So let's start by ripping this hood off. It's actually pretty slick. It's just got these little pins that turn. There's one in each corner. This pops off easy. I got this loosened up already. And then, let's see here, the oil fill cap. So we'll set all this stuff aside here. Safekeeping. Oh. All right, let's get this guy out of the way too. That's a pretty slick little setup. I like that. Some of them are a big pain in the butt, like that Alice I've been working on. A million bolts holding that freaking hood on. Bam. Alrighty. Let's start with the fuel, just because I already got that kind of opened up here. I do have the fuel shut off, so shouldn't have too much fuel dripping out of here, but we should probably have a little bit, yeah. I have to just leave it resting like that. Just have it drip down. Turn the fuel on. Yeah, it feels nice and yellow now too, so it's kind of been self-cleaning, which is all right. It doesn't bother me any. I know some of you guys are gonna say that's not the way to do it, and whatever, but now your tractor, and it doesn't bother me to do it this way. So I've already had people in the comments saying how to do stuff. There's a million ways to do stuff, whatever works for you. So I don't care how you do it. So anyways, let's get you on the chest and see what that looks like and get you in here and we'll start wrenching on some stuff. Alrighty, we got the vacuum set up. I drained a little bit out of the filter and sediment bowl just to get kind of whatever crud was in the line out. But now we're gonna suck out whatever's left in the tank into the shop vac. And then after that, we'll take all this apart and blow it all out and put it back together. I still have to get a new filter, but we'll throw that back in for now. Assuming, yeah, it's pretty cruddy. But anyways, we'll do this for now. That's all the parts I have at the moment. Completely forgot about that filter, was bad. it's pretty cruddy in there. Anyways, so now that all the fuel's out, we can undo this sediment bowl. We're gonna have some spillage. That's all right. Get our drain bucket. Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty nasty. I gotta get a new sediment bowl too, because this guy, I don't believe, no, it doesn't have the screen up there anymore, so I gotta get a new sediment bowl with the sediment filter screen, because I think that would cure a lot of issues. But anyways, let's pop this guy off, blow this out, get our flathead, get a flashlight in here for you guys. Ooh, that's loose. Holy crap. Get on there pretty good. Alrighty. Oh yeah, look at that. Oh, that's terrible. Alright, maybe we won't put that filter back on. That's terrible. I'll just leave that there for now. That's pretty bad. Alrighty. Yeah, this is loosey goose. I didn't know that. That's alright. We'll just, oh yeah. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. There's a ton of crud in that thing. Ugh. Cool. Yeah, it's pretty cleared out now. Alrighty. What's next here? I just cleaned the carb. I don't think we're gonna have to do that again. If it continues to run like crap, I actually cleaned that twice and I found nothing the second time. The first time was in the revival video, the first time around. It was pretty gunked up. But this time, or the last time around, when it died, just driving around in the driveway, spinning it around, I didn't find anything in it. It was just the crud that was stuck in the top of the sediment bowl. So let's see. So fuel should be okay for now. We'll get back to that in a bit. Let's get into the valve cover and get to the other side and do the oil, valve, gasket, valve lash, and then lastly the plug wires. So let's get to that. Okay, what size are those gonna be? We'll start with 9/16. Or no, that's 5/8. Okay, now let's do 9/16. Pretty clean for an old motor, honestly. I mean, it's obviously been sitting. Not saying it's a new motor by any means, but get that light shut off. I don't know if it's interfering or not. Actually, I suppose we could probably bring it over here, huh? Beautiful. All right. Start by scraping that gasket too. Just get the scraper. There we go. Nice. Sometimes these are a pain in the ass to get off. You only get part of them 90% of the time, and then the parts that you don't get do not want to come off. You just about grind the rest of it off. So let's get this vacuum. Actually, I don't know why I didn't just toss that in the trash to begin with. This vacuum set back up. All right, guys, I cleaned up the crank and tried to find the timing marks. There really wasn't a lot, not really much on there. So I popped the plugs out quick and then looked for top dead center. 1 and 4 are top dead center. So I cracked those loose and set those to 17 thousandths, exhaust and intake. And then same with the middle 2 and 3. So we got those done. I didn't really want to show you that too much just because it was kind of a pain to film. The GoPro died, so let it charge up a little bit, and here we are. So I got the head surface where the valve cover meets all cleaned up, brake cleaned, all that good stuff. I got this cleaned up best I could for now. Where's my rag at? So this cleaned up a little bit. So the only issue I think we may have is this cork. That was on right. This cork gasket doesn't really want to line up that good. I think we're just going to have to tighten it down a little bit and then sort of work it around, push it in as we go. But this is pretty well done as far as the valves go and the valve cover gasket. We may have some leaks, I'm not sure yet, but we'll snug this down for now. Okay. Let's be done with that right now. So that's good. All the plugs are out. They actually looked pretty darn good. So let's get plug wires. Do these. Hopefully they sent me the right ones. That'd be nice. Raining out earlier for a little bit. I had the doors shut. Looks pretty nice now. I'll clear the gas smell out of the garage too. Getting a little bit of a high off of that. Let's see. Let's start with the middle one first. Coil to cap. Completely missed the barrel. Perfect. Where's my longest one? Looks like this guy. Wow, that is completely different size. Do that guy there. These ones I just got are probably the ones that are supposed to be on it, but whoever put the other ones on here, I'm sure weren't really, maybe not the right ones, I'm not sure. But they worked. Cool. All right, so plug wires are on. All right, let's do the oil. Looked like 5 quarts is what's supposed to be in it. And what's interesting on this tractor, I was kind of confused at first, but there's actually 2 petcocks on the other side. There's no dipstick. So when we first got there to look at the tractor and start assessing it in the weeds there, I did not know where the dipstick was. It was taking me forever to find where the dipstick was, and it turns out that it's only got these 2 petcocks here. So 5 quarts is all it takes. It's just a little baby 4-cylinder, so top it off with that. I got 1540. I'm going to run in it a little bit thicker because it gets really hot around here in the summertime, and probably not going to run this much, if at all, this winter. It's just really just a novelty. It's just going to sit around. But the 1540's got all the vitamins and minerals in the oil that it's going to need, especially in these older engines. So I'm going to do that because it's my tractor, it's my motor, and that's what I got around. It's just an old 4-cylinder. It's not going to care what the hell's in it for oil. So let's get that cracked. The drain bolt cracked. We're going to use, I got to get a new setup for all my hand tools. Problem is I go do a revival or I take the truck and trailer out, and I always keep tools with me no matter what, no matter where I go. So it's convenient to grab the tools, throw them in the back seat of the truck, and then off I go. And then when I come back to the shop and I pull whatever this in, or the Alice or the 1586 or whatever I'm working on, it's convenient because I can just toss it on the cart and away we go. But it would be nice to have 2 sets of tools also. but not made of money. All right, let's see what we're working with here. This is the first time I'm seeing this old oil. I'm sure it's gonna be full of water and nasty. Oh yeah, baby. A little bit of water in there. For as long as this tractor was sitting, I am shocked it was not. There's really nothing on that magnet though. That's crazy. There's a little bit of viscosity. I mean, it's not great oil, but it had plenty of viscosity to run and start off of. But best part about this tractor is it had the rain cap on it and kept all the water out of it. So there was just a few little drops of water there at the start when we started draining it. So pretty happy with that, actually. They get nasty. I'm sure, as some of you guys know, it gets pretty bad. So definitely smells like, I mean, it's hard to tell because it smelled like gas before, but definitely smells like gas a little bit. I'm sure there's gas getting through there. It's been flooded a few times, and I'm sure there's going to be some gas in there. But overall, this motor is a pretty good old motor. It's proven to be anyways. We got to get rid of all this junk too. Some guy took, whoever the last owner was, took 12-2 house wiring and wire nuts and thought he was an electrician. So we actually got to take this battery out. I just bought this battery the other day because it's old. The old one was pretty well junk. So I got to take this back out and get behind here and fix whatever this mess is, because it just shorted something out the other day when my girlfriend went to go start the tractor. It actually started smoking behind the instrument panel there. So we shut it off, and I just started it with the jump pack and grounded it out and put power right to the starter and started it that way this morning, and that worked fine. But let's get that battery off after this oil change, and then we can figure out what's going on with this wiring. And we'll run new wires, and we'll do the weatherproofing, the heat shrink wire connectors as well, just because I like those a lot, and I don't do any wiring without those two. So at some point too, I'll save it for a different day, but I would like, where did I put that drain bolt? I really would like to get the tractor degreased and pressure washed, the engine bay, just because with that valve cover gasket leaking the way it did, it covered this whole side of the motor, which I'm sure you saw at one of the angles I was at today. It got covered in oil, which honestly, for as bad as that valve cover gasket was, it wasn't even all that bad, to be honest with you. So let's get these plugs back in. I'm going to quit the camera now. I'm going to, actually, before I do that, that drain bolt sliced me. Let's see what the filter looks like. Almost forgot about that. Damn. I bet you this filter hasn't been out in 20 years. There's no way. The oil pressure gauge does work, oddly enough. Hopefully there's no oil in this filter yet. Gonna make a huge mess. Oh yeah, looks like it's full of oil. It's just residual, actually. Nope, full of oil. Fuck. Made it just in time. Get this plug wire out of the way so we don't soak it in oil. Oh yeah. I mean, it's not too bad. Wait. I was thinking maybe it had the date on it. No date on it that I see. You get a Wix filter. So it's not that old. They might have done it. It doesn't look to be all that old actually, so that's cool. I'll toss that in the trash. Use my dirty floor rag to clean it. It's good enough. Let's look in here. Oh, not bad. Not like there'd be any metal shavings in there anyways, just pointed up in the wrong direction to catch that kind of thing. So, the dog's playing outside. Alrighty. Let's get the filter. Which way does this guy go? And the new oof, that old O-ring's crushed pretty good. Yikes. Definitely wasn't going anywhere. Kind of an interesting filter setup. I haven't dealt with these older Farmalls too much. I really only mess around with these 86 and 66 series is really what I'm familiar with. But I've been wrenching on this stuff since I was just a 12-year-old kid. Just been obsessed with this kind of thing ever since I could remember, but I just figure it out as I go and apply it to the next project. Really, that's all I've been doing. Not a master mechanic by any means, but fake it till you make it. It's basically all you can do. Have fun doing it and learn as you go. Doesn't feel like that's sitting right. Maybe it is, I don't. That's better. I think when that bolt will line it up, it's got a little sleeve right there it should sit in and line everything up nicely, hopefully. I'm sure it's gonna have some play in it. That looks decent. That'll work. Beautiful. Just got to top off the oil and throw the plugs back in. We'll blow all that gunk out of their plug holes. But so we'll do that. We'll get all the wires hooked back up, make sure they're all in there snug, and then we'll tear this junk wiring out of there. I'll probably redo those two eyelets there with the weatherproof ones, and we already cleaned the points. I already did that in the revival video. Only thing left really is to take that battery out and then fix the wiring, and then we'll be done. All right, well, we ended up taking the battery out. I took a vacuum and really tried to clean in here best I could. We did all heat shrink butt connectors, and what else? Put a new light in. I just got to wire I got to clean this little last section up of wiring and tap into this guy. This is the new light. The other one was busted off and non-existent. I just used the existing ground. I was being lazy, but heat shrink connector there. I don't know, just kind of clean the wiring up. Got rid of all the house connection. This is not going to anything. I'm not sure what this was supposed to go to. It's not being used for anything now. It doesn't affect it running, but it's disconnected here and here. So I don't know what the heck that was for, but we don't need it. The tractor runs, it's getting power, all that good stuff to the coil. So I don't really care about that at the moment. Someday down the road, we might figure out what the hell it goes to, but for now, I have no idea. So, yep, let's just get in here. But anyways, we'll leave that disconnected for now, and we can toss the battery back in. God dang, I don't know what the heck people are trying to do when they... I don't know what they're trying to attempt there. But anyways, we're going to throw that back together. This is not going to be a showpiece by any means. We're just trying to make it functional. We're trying to make it better than what it was. And we have done that so far. I did new hydraulic lines too. I forgot to mention that. The reason why we didn't have any hydraulics was A, the reservoir was completely empty, and B, the lines going under the seat, there was a huge hole in one of it. So as soon as I filled it, it just blew out the lines completely under the seat. So I snaked them out, went out to town, got some new lines, came back, topped the fluid off, cleaned it all out, blah, blah, blah. And they've been working great ever since then. So we got to flush it out one more time because the hydraulics are a little milky. I think there is some water in there, just residual, just got in there somehow. I don't know, but it is a little bit milky. So we're going to dump that out one more time and refill it until it's clear. Anyways, we might have to do it a couple times, but anyhow, all this is buttoned up, all new connections there. It's looking pretty good. So new oil filter, valve lash is reset, new wiring, new plug wires, new valve cover gasket, and then new wiring back there, brand new battery. We'll throw that back in here in a minute. I'm gonna get that light wired in off camera. We'll make sure all that stuff's working, then I'll get back with you guys and get it fired up. I'll fire it up without the valve cover to start, I think, just so we can get eyes on the rocker arms and valves and see what that's doing. So we'll be back in a bit. All right, guys, we got everything together electric wise. We actually got these lights both working. So that's cool. So all the wiring is all buttoned up, ready to go. As you can see, I decided to take the fuel tank off. I threw a bunch of, I had like little ceiling light hanging chain. So I threw all that in there in the tank and I flushed it with some gas. So that's all vacuumed out. That's all cleaned out. I'm glad I did that. It was pretty nasty. I ended up jumping up on a step stool and looked in there a little bit better, and it was pretty gunky. So I just decided to take the tank off and do it the right way. So we got this guy on there. I got a fuel can ready to go with some fresh fuel here. And then we got a catch pan with the high setting of the, I guess the oil film arc, I guess you would say, for when we put our new fresh oil in there. Okay. And our fresh oil in there. Just gotta get these last 2 bolts and we are good. Yeah, I think we're just gonna leave it kind of patinaed. I don't think we're gonna end up ever painting it, to be honest with you. I honestly kind of like it the way it is. Let me know what you guys think though, if we should go through it and restore it. That is a lot of work, but it's kind of her deal. It's her tractor, so we'll see what she wants to do, but I know she kind of likes it the way it is, so I do too. But let's hear what you guys have to say. Maybe you got some good opinions we'd like to hear. Leave that down in the comments, and make sure you guys, if you could, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe, like, share, comment, and get this channel really rocking. Just kind of starting out, so still got a lot of videos to make. I actually got a lot of content I have not put into videos yet that I've been slacking on. I gotta get that done. Let's get this hooked up. I'm still working on a couple of waiting to hear back from a couple people for some revivals. I know I do have one in Yates Center, Kansas. Actually, I was supposed to do today, but it was kind of cruddy out. It's not raining here, but I'm in central Missouri, and they're West Kansas, pretty close to the line of Missouri, and it was pouring there all day today. So I just told them let's reschedule for next week, and they're only available Friday through Sunday. So I said, let's do it Friday then. So, but in the meantime, I'd really like to actually get one done midweek here, because all I got this week to do is I got to throw this clutch in, which, I mean, that's going to be together and done in a day. And then I got to do this guy, which obviously that's going to take quite a bit of time, but I'm not going to spend all week on it. I'm going to do a couple days here or there. Whatever fill-in time I need to do, I'll just dedicate to that guy. But while that's filling, I'll top the oil off here. Just click this off for a second. I don't need to go too crazy with the gas just yet. I don't know what the hell it's going to do. And of course, it's still safety. All right. Petcock is on for the gas. Multitasking. Sounded like something was dripping for a second. So yeah, we'll have to watch for some leaks too when we fire it up, because I don't know if that new O-ring for the new oil filter is sealed or not for sure. So we'll keep an eye on that. And what else do we have to look for? I did so much today on this thing, I kind of forget now. Sort of been doing it in little chunks, but I think everything else is good to go. The radiator, actually, believe it or not, it was the only thing. Well, it was actually the first thing I looked in just for shits when I did the revival. And that thing was chock full of coolant. I mean, just beautiful green, looked like brand new coolant. But that guy I guess that guy said he had never touched it before. It was the previous owner from years ago. So I was pretty surprised to see a full radiator full of coolant. You don't really see that on these old tractors anyways. This guy's one of the handiest things I bought. Kind of one of those small purchases, but it definitely has been helping out quite a bit. It's got the measuring table on the side, and then for applications like this with a kind of a cruddy filler neck and do quart. I mean, it's easy enough to do whatever you want to do, but for me, I like this because I can fill the hydraulic. The hydraulic fills on the back of these tractors kind of suck to get to. And it's just good for crappy spots to get into. You can fill it up with 1.5 gallons or whatever the heck this holds. Yeah, I think it was 1.5 gallons. 6 quarts, I think it was. Still got a little bit left, actually. I don't see anything leaking out now, or out of the petcock just yet, which is weird. But that's 5 quarts, and that's what it called for. Huh. Wonder if it's plugged. Let's check the other one. Oh. Okay, well, it's low. That's good. Oh, what the? Why? It must be gunked up in there. All right. Yeah, just gunked up, but cool. Well, we got fresh gas in there. All right. Let's just fill it up. Yeah, we'll have to pull it outside, and all that oil on the side of the block, we'll have to degrease and pressure wash that quick. Probably leave the hood off here for a little bit. It's easy enough to throw back on, but yeah. So let's get this filled up real quick. I suppose, yeah, we'll wait a minute, I guess. Fill this up a little bit. All right, let's give it a start. Let's see what happens. Just make sure it's idled way down. Kind of a cold-blooded tractor. At least before all the work we just did, it didn't really like to start in the cold, which I don't imagine any of these do. Let's get on the back here. Ignition on. Give it a little choke. Sounds good. See the oil pressure climbing a little bit. There it goes. That's not bad for just sitting at idle. It's still climbing. Okay, she's cranky, I guess. Yeah, the oil pressure was climbing yet. So, a little bit too low of an idle for as cold as it is. Yeah, the exhaust isn't even warm at all. Really good oil pressure, actually. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. Cool. Yeah, I'd say she's done. We just got to get a new couple new fuel filters. We'll run it through a couple of times and catch as much as we can, and then get a new screen and a O-ring for that fuel bowl, and I think she's a runner.